Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind queen who wished for a child. One winter's day, she pricked her finger, and 3 drops of blood fell onto the snow. She wished for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Soon after, the queen gave birth to a baby girl named Snow White with those features. Tragically, the queen fell ill and passed away. The king remarried a woman of great beauty but greater vanity, who possessed dark magic and a talking mirror. The new queen often asked her mirror, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" For years, the mirror replied, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." But as Snow White grew, her beauty surpassed the queen's. One day, the mirror spoke the truth. "You, my queen, are fair, it's true, but Snow White is fairer still than you." The queen, consumed by envy, summoned her huntsman to kill Snow White and bring back her heart as proof. The huntsman led Snow White into the woods, but couldn't harm her. "Run away, child," he urged. "The queen wants you dead, but I cannot do this terrible deed. Flee into the forest and never return to the castle." Terrified, Snow White ran deeper into the woods, collapsing in exhaustion. Forest creatures guided her to a small cottage with 7 little chairs, beds, and a table set with 7 plates. She assumed the owners were orphan children. Snow White decided to clean the cottage, hoping the owners would let her stay. With the help of her animal friends, she swept, dusted, and cooked a warm meal. Exhausted, she curled up on 3 of the small beds and fell asleep. At dusk, 7 dwarfs returned: Doc, grumpy, happy, sleepy, bashful, sneezy, and dopey. They found Snow White and, moved by her plight, offered her shelter. "You can stay here," Doc said, "but never let anyone in while we're away." Meanwhile, the queen, believing Snow White dead, asked her mirror again. The mirror replied, "Beyond the 7 mountains tall, where the 7 dwarfs dwell, Snow White lives, and she is still the fairest one to tell." Furious, the queen realized the huntsman had betrayed her. She brewed a deadly potion and disguised herself as an old peddler woman. She traveled to the dwarf's cottage and offered Snow White a beautiful red apple. Snow White hesitated, remembering the dwarf's warning, but the queen took a bite first, convincing her it was safe. The moment Snow White bit into the apple, she fell into a death-like sleep. The queen cackled in triumph. When the dwarfs returned, they found Snow White lifeless. Heartbroken, they placed her in a glass coffin, unable to bear burying her. Years passed, and a prince from a neighboring kingdom heard of the beautiful maiden asleep in the forest. The prince came to see her and, struck by her beauty, kissed her hand. His tears fell upon the apple's poison, breaking the curse. Snow White's eyes fluttered open. True love has broken the spell, the dwarfs cheered. The prince asked for her hand in marriage, and Snow White accepted. The wicked queen, upon hearing the news, was so consumed by rage that her heart gave out, and she perished. Snow White and the prince ruled the kingdom with kindness. The 7 dwarfs visited often, living happily ever after. The end. Moral of the story: true beauty comes from kindness and a pure heart. Jealousy and cruelty lead to destruction, but love and goodness always triumph in the end.